How does Harmony streamline your property maintenance? Let's look briefly at some key features. The complete Harmony CMMS, or Computerized Maintenance Management System, includes a ton of components, like work requests, work orders, work permits, property inspections, services agreements, recurring maintenance, warranty tracking, quote requests or RFQs, architectural requests, key/access logs, vendor candidacy, vendor job logging, vendor performance, and vendor suitability. All of these components are fully integrated with each other and with all other Harmony functions, like places, portals, invoices, calendar, activities, appointments, checklists, surveys, agreements, document management, and CRM. Other CMMSs don't even come close to Harmony's capability and simplicity for property managers. In fact, many users think of Harmony primarily as a maintenance system because it is so powerful and extensive. Most of your maintenance will start with a work request. These requests ideally come through the occupant portal, where the structured form guides them through selecting the information you need, adding their photos or videos, and verifying their contacts. However, you can also enter requests yourself from a phone call, a voicemail, an email, or an in-office visit. Requests can also come in from scheduled recurring maintenance, which you define in each unit. Whether it's a fire suppression inspection, a filter replacement, or anything else that happens on a schedule, this can be automated in Harmony. From the request, you triage, then create a work order. You can skip the request step and go straight to the work order. However, because all information, photos, and videos from the request flow through automatically into work orders, it ends up being more efficient and more beneficial to record the request first. The work request is the container that can wrap a single work order or multiple work orders, like when different vendors are dispatched to address different problems, or when the initial repair was unsuccessful and a new vendor must be assigned. It also gives you the automated tools to communicate with the requester and track resolutions. If appliances and equipment in the unit are under warranty, warranty information is dynamically displayed where applicable. Other information from the unit flows through to the work order automatically, so you never have to remember anything or look it up. When using the key/access logging feature in Harmony, you can check out a key or provide an access code to perform the work. You'll always know where the key is and who has access to the unit at any time. Harmony will prompt you to collect the key from the vendor and put it back in its correct slot in your cabinet when the work is done. Assigning a vendor is simple, with Harmony's unique vendor suitability system. This employs multiple layers. First, Harmony will look to see if there is a services agreement on the unit, like a home warranty, or a designated person to triage standard maintenance. Then, it will check if you've indicated a preferred vendor for this type of work on this unit. If not, you'll see a list of vendors with their rank. Ranking uses an algorithm based on the vendor's industry, area served, reviews, and track past performance of both time and money. When you assign the work to a vendor and notify them, your notification can include the option for them to accept, decline, or request rescheduling of the work with a simple click. Work order dates ensure nothing is ever missed and everything is done on time. This also feeds into the vendor's algorithm for on-time performance, and you can see this in maintenance and vendor reports. Harmony's appointment confirmation system is fully integrated with work orders. Both you and the vendor can see if the tenant has confirmed the appointment for work. When you use Harmony's resources system, assignable resources are displayed and can be assigned for the work. This is convenient, for example, when you check out your power washer to the handyman to complete the job. You can set an expense limit for the work. Your agreed-upon expense limit with the owner is displayed, along with details on what your management agreement requires the owner to authorize. If the limit is greater than what's allowed in your management agreement, you'll be prompted to set the work order to require client approval. The owner can review this and electronically sign their approval in their portal, or through a login-less link from an email. If the vendor has provided an estimate or you have a negotiated allowable charge for this work, set it in the estimate and total. If you leave these blank, the vendor can provide them when reviewing the work in their portal. These amounts can be automatically withheld from owner distributions until the work is complete and the invoice is entered. Set the date when you want the withhold to begin. If the work is going to be performed down the road and you don't want to keep it from the owner's distributions between now and then. Time and billing tracking is available for more granular reporting. You don't need this when the vendor is tracking it, unless you want to track the time you actually spend. However, if you have an in-house handyman, this tracking is highly valuable. From time to time, you'll need permits for work. If the tenant accidentally backed over their fence, for example, the city may require you to receive a permit to rebuild it. Harmony's work permit system is extensive and allows you to track all components and communications in the permitting process. Sometimes you'll want the vendor to complete a checklist for the work performed. Harmony's checklist system has you covered. You can create checklist templates of all types for almost everything. For example, on a fire suppression inspection, you may have multiple items the vendor must record and confirm. The entire maintenance system is integrated with Harmony's CRM, so you can create custom templates for automatic email and text notifications. In their portal, the vendor can view the work order, see the occupant contact information, add an estimate, add a total, and mark the work as complete. Using Harmony's job log system, you can require that your vendors check in and out of a site. This system has automated features to track where your vendors are, helps you keep occupants informed, and helps keep vendors error-free with their billing. Between the time a work order is created and completed, you can track every stage on a timeline and see key dates on your calendar and in reports. If you need to put the work on hold, for example while awaiting parts, the hold feature ensures it doesn't get dropped. Once work is completed and invoiced, Harmony's integration with invoicing and billing will blow your mind. There are bulk functions available to simplify complex processes, like when a vendor gets sick or lets their insurance expire and all their open work orders have to be assigned to someone else. Maintenance reports give you a clear view into open and finished maintenance, with important statistics including time and budget data, unit maintenance frequency, vendor assignment and performance, and more. For work that you want to send out for competitive bidding, Harmony's Quote Request System, or RFQ, is robust. It gives you all the tools you need for competitive bidding, no matter how you do it. The powerful vendor candidacy and services agreement functions in Harmony provide you with a streamlined, effortless way to onboard new vendors and track their compliance with all requirements like certifications and insurance. If you manage associations, you'll find Harmony's architectural request system astounding. It handles all the tracking, reviewing, communicating, and more. The HOA's Architectural Review Committee is going to love you. Harmony's property inspection system is about the best there is. There's so much to it, it's covered separately in its own videos. When you fully onboarded into the Harmony CMMS, you'll be astonished at how efficient you've become.